Hey, what's going on? This your main man, Queres.
It's your guy Aaron.
And I'm Toshoama.
And you're not tuned into
On
the
the
Couch. Hey, yo, so this episode of On the Couch is going to be dedicated to the late, great Nipsey Hussle.
Neighborhood Nip, man.
That's it, man. So we're going to share the facts, and then we're going to share our thoughts behind how we feel about what happened. You know, it's very unfortunate. So on March 31st, Nipsey Hussle and two of his partners were standing outside of his store, Marathon, and allegedly, we'll say allegedly because, you know, it's not confirmed by the law yet. Allegedly, Eric Holder gunned Nipsey Hussle down. So it's a lot of different stories going on, you know, going around about what actually happened. It's saying that, you know, the one that's kind of consistent through and through so far is that Nipsey asked dude to leave, asked Holder to leave because he was
quote-unquote informant.
an informant, you know, and I guess obviously dude pride was hurt or whatever. He came back and killed Nipsey and shot two other guys outside of the store. I mean, that did y'all hear anything else about what happened? Any other type of story that y'all want to?
I mean, I heard.
Facts.
I didn't heard. I mean, like I said, no facts came out yet.
Right.
But I've heard that the guy walked up. He introduced himself as another rapper.
Right.
Got a burger, left off, came back a couple minutes later, and gunned Nipsey down.
Right. And so
He also had like a getaway driver or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you know, it's a lot of suspicious stuff going on around about it. We're not gonna get into a lot of conspiracy theories, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, a great influential person to all of us was taken away from us. You get what I'm saying? And fortunately, on Tuesday, Eric Holder was captured. So soon we'll be figuring out, you know, what happened and what's the actual narrative behind the whole situation. So, like I said, we're gonna share our thoughts behind it, and you know, I had to write mine down because I don't want to ramble. So y'all don't mind me reading. I'm gonna read how I feel about it. You know, this is just a brief synopsis of how I actually feel because it's very unfortunate. It's crazy that we actually saying rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. It's wild, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna read.
it's mind-boggling, man.
So, read. First, I would like to say that we have lost one of our great community leaders with the death of Nipsey. Nipsey was a king of himself, and he carried himself as such. He definitely inspired me to continue to strive for greatness, showed me that hard work, consistency, and a vision is ultimately what we need to succeed in this world. The thing that made him so great to me was that he didn't just talk about empowering his people, but he was actually doing it and stayed humble the whole time. He stood on his word and did everything that he said he would do. Now, I feel that I'm a pretty intelligent guy, and part of my personality is not to take things for face value, especially when it seems too good to be true. So when I got the news that Nipsey had got shot, I immediately skipped over it being gang related because he was so loved and respected by everyone. My mind went back to the first time I saw Nipsey speak about the Dr. Sebi documentary, amongst all the other positive things that he was doing. I was concerned then because, as history shows, when you are influential, keyword influential, and trying to shift the consciousness of the oppressed, then persecution from the oppressor is usually close behind. It seems that a lot of people wanted to talk down on people who question things that seem out of place by calling them conspiracy theorists and etc. I mean, instead of immediately shooting down someone's opinion, take your ego out of the equation and have a conversation as to why a person is thinking that way. We have several real documented examples of government organizations taking down leaders and committing atrocious crimes on our people out of fear of an uprising. On top of that, a lot of the times they use people that look just like us to carry out the deed. So why does it seem so far-fetched that this was different in any other case? Nipsey even said himself, if they kill me behind this documentary, then y'all better ride for me. But I digress. Either way, I would not waste any more energy focusing on that because at the end of the day, none of it can bring the young king back, Nipsey Hussle. I'm just going to continue to follow his example and bring the vision that I have to fruition. You get what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts, and I could go on and on forever about every little aspect that seems out of place for me. But at the end of the day, Nipsey wanted all his people to be great. I'm gonna continue to be great within myself. So once I fix myself, I can teach everybody, or not even teach. I can just live in my purpose and live as a king within myself and be an example for everybody else, whoever is watching me. So that's my thoughts. You know, I got plenty more thoughts, but I'm gonna keep it short. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. You know, neighborhood.
CIP neighborhood Nip.
So, anybody want to share their thoughts? You know.
Like he said, CIP Nip, and it's really an unfortunate event that really happened to him. He didn't deserve it. I don't have a lot to say about it, but he was our champion. He was everybody's champion.
That's it.
And his life was cut down. That's pretty much. I really don't even want to get into it too much because it seemed like he was my family. Like I feel like
right.
that. Like every day, it seems like every time you get on Facebook or anything else, any other media outlet, it seems like it's just something new and it just seemed different every day. So I don't have anything to say about it until any more facts come out. Then I have some more on it later on if we get a chance to talk about it.
This is a lot of speculation, man. Yeah. You know, we don't know. We weren't there. You get what I'm saying? But just the fact that somebody so positive and so influential was taken from us
don't make sense.
And you know, people want to kind of just. I understand somebody. We have a condition. We have a problem within our community. Yes, I understand. I never would say that we're not envious of each other and we don't do things out of envy. You know, but it's hard to I guess to accept if that is the truth. The bottom line, raw truth. It wasn't anything. No kind of conspiracies or anything like that. Then if that's the hard truth and envy, then we definitely gotta fix that. You gotta, like I said, we gotta learn to love ourselves, because once you learn to love yourself, you will see yourself and everybody else around you, and it would be hard pressed for you to take somebody out, especially somebody as influential as Nipsey Hussle.
It's like cancer.
Like,
it's a big cancer that we need to fix. If that's the bottom line,
right?
If that's the bottom line, they would just hate, envy, and jealousy.
If that was the bottom
line, that's a big cancer that we need to work on
right.
as a people, as a whole.
And I'm gonna say, I don't really, like you guys said, I don't have any conclusions or to say how it happened or what it was because there's so many stories out there as to what really happened. But I just feel like there's nothing wrong with questioning anything. You know, and as a parent, definitely. I would never want my kids to come to me with a question or how to do something, and I show them, and they say, well, why do we do this? And I say, I don't know, it's just how it's always done. Like, no, that's unacceptable. So you always ask questions. If I feel a certain kind of way, prove me wrong. I have no problems with you proving me wrong, but I will always ask questions. Everyone should not have a problem with asking.
Definitely.
Always ask questions.
So that's pretty much what I have to say in that regard. But when it, actually happened, I definitely felt just a heaviness after that, and almost like I can't believe it.
Right.
It's
unbelievable.
And to be honest, I didn't know I'm heavy until beginning of 2018, and I still feel the heaviness of his loss. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and also just as a wife, thinking about Lauren London, because that was, one of my thoughts was to her and how it must feel to, I couldn't even imagine. So I just sent so much, love and light her way, because it's just,
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be stuck in thought, man. I want to know how to accept something like that. It still can't accept that. Every day I say, like, man, they didn't kill Nip, man.
That's crazy. Like, literally I say it out of nowhere. I be talking on the phone with Bay and just like, man, they killed Nip.
Out of nowhere, bro.
Yo, that's crazy. It's crazy. Like,
he was too positive for all that, man. He was doing too much stuff for people, man. People don't believe.
He was all about empowering
his people.
He empowered himself, and that's why I said I didn't know him until 2018.
Right.
I didn't need to know him until it was time for me to know him.
Known him 2 days, or just known of him for 2 days.
He owned all his. We were just talking. He owned all his own music. Like, he owned things, and that's the knowledge that he wanted to spread to everybody else.
Right.
Like, that's
do it yourself, right?
Yeah, that's what was so respectable about him.
Yeah, man.
He didn't mind giving up that model, man. He wasn't selfish.
Easy.
You know what I mean? I want y'all to do this. You need
Right.
to do this in order for yourself to have something for your children to build something.
Right.
Them building blocks, them 6 building blocks. We'll get into that.
We're gonna get into it, man.
We'll get into that at a later time.
So I guess the last thing, you know, we'll speak. I guess when we get into the boss business with Aaron, I guess I'll speak on how Nipsey influenced me. But at the end of the day, you know, CIP, Nipsey Hussle.
Nip, man.
Yeah, man.
CIP, Nip.
That's it,
Prayers for
man.
his family.
And hey, man, y'all just continue to keep his, you know, try to keep his vision and what he had going by empowering yourself and then empowering the people around you. You know, he just wanted to uplift his people. That was in his heart, and you could tell that was in his heart because everybody feel that. Right. He left him. He ain't gone. You get what I'm saying? His purpose was served at, you know, at the end of the day. You know, us left here, we just got to deal with our ego, you know what I'm saying, and just understand that God knows everything. God knows, you know, when it's your time, it's your purpose has been served, you know.
The vacation here is over, right?
Right. I'm not gonna get too deep into that. We'll talk about more about purpose and everything under the sun on a later episode. But you know, CIP neighborhood nip.
Right. He was a great man, man. You know, CIP people cool.
Do I ever cross your line? Do I, baby? Yeah. I remember the first time I said I loved you. Yeah. And I remember the promise we made when we said we'd never love another. Now we don't even speak. I ain't heard you in weeks. Who you got a place to be? And are you being his love free?
Hey, it's your guy Aaron, and we back with Boss Biz. All right, this episode was dedicated to Nip. So I got a couple tips from Nipsey, lessons and things like that. Like I said, we're gonna touch. Nipsey was a great person, man, and he influenced the world so much in his death, man, that different states was even doing different things. The whole world,
right,
pretty much was in shock and awe, like we were.
Incredible businessman.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Incredible business.
33 years, man. He done mastered something, man, that people been trying to do for a long time. 33 years. That's all he needed.
For generations, though. But he shit, less than 33, though. You give
honestly,
Right.
Yeah, but to get to where he was at, man, to where people is heartbroken about what happened to him.
Right.
What happened to him. But with that being said, we're gonna get into it with 7 tips from Nipsey. It's 7 money tips and ownership with Nipsey Hussle. Right. And the 7 tips that he had was, I'm gonna read from this and we're gonna go over them, okay? And I'm gonna out of the 7, I'm gonna say which one I like the best.
Right.
We're gonna get into it with those, okay?
Okay.
Out of the 7, the first one is Hustlenomics. The second one is Turn Up or Own Up. The third one is Entrepreneurship. The fourth one is Black Capital. The fifth one is Breaking the Chains. The sixth one is Creating Value. And the 7th is Owning Real Estate. The one that means the most to me that I identify with is on Creating Value. Nipsey had released a mixtape, a special mixtape. He released 100 of them. He released a special edition of this mixtape. It was signed. It came with tickets and things like that for upcoming events, and he sold 1,000 copies for $100 a piece. With those, out of that mixtape, that money that he created off that mixtape was the Crenshaw mixtape in 2013, and that money he was able to fund his own independent label. That's so major and mind blowing to me that he even took the time to come up with the research and do things to be able to put that together. You know what I mean?
Right.
He sold 1,000 mixtapes for $100.
Right.
I know people who giving their mixtapes away, let alone I see somebody not like, no, I ain't got them $2 right there for that mixtape. I ain't got that little bit right there. No, I'ma holler at you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be able to do nothing for you but Nip.
Let me get it for $1.
I get that for free. I don't even know you. You don't even. No. But he was endorsed by some bigs named Jay-Z. Bought 10 copies at $100 a piece. Rick Ross also.
Was it 10 or 100?
I think he bought like 10 copies.
Oh, okay.
10 copies of $100. $1,000 though.
You're right.
He sold 100 copies. What, 1,000 copies?
My next joint that come out,
$100.
$100.
We need it.
I love y'all.
We need that.
You
But
know?
yeah, though, that's the one that mean the most to me, man.
Okay.
Which one did you like?
Definitely. My favorite one out of it was entrepreneurship. And to touch on what it was, it said, we don't want advances, we want equality. I mean, equality and equity. We want ownership. And basically, what that's saying is that, you know, that resonates with me because I'm my own person. I've worked for other people my entire life, but I want more for my family. And I want to make sure that when I leave this place, when my vessel has expired, that I leave a legacy and I leave a pathway for generations after me that I've ushered into this world. You understand what I'm saying? The same thing that Nipsey has done himself. That's why I resonated so much with him, because he already had the plan in place and he had the steps and the guidelines in place. So, you know, entrepreneurship definitely resonated like hard with me, you know. So that's why you might see, like, I'm not gonna riff, but entrepreneurship, that's my favorite one.
Entrepreneurship. What you got, T?
My favorite one was on Hustlenomics.
Okay.
You learn all the secrets to the game on your way up. Most folk want to skip the process. When you skip steps, you miss the lessons.
The experience.
And that definitely resonates with me just on my journey of being an entrepreneur. You know, you have to you have to get the groundwork done. You know, get your business licenses and, you know, depending on the type of stuff you're doing, get your IRS registration and things like that. It's just, for me, that resonated. And just to know that it's not a race, you know what I'm saying? You're on this journey. You know, if you have a setback, you just keep going. You're learning as you're going along.
It's a marathon.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You use your setbacks as experience.
Exactly.
You know?
You gaining that experience, and then from experience, you can teach others. Yeah. And that's exactly what he did with this 7
steps.
The 7 steps.
And he had much more.
Way
you know, that
more.
was just compressed. You know, yeah. But I think that, like you said, to piggyback off of skipping steps, you know, we unfortunately the mass majority of middle class individuals have not had the guidelines or even the mindset to even think like entrepreneurs. We have been trained and guided into being workers as opposed to being our own bosses and own business owners. So my thing is, once I realized that, I was like, okay, you know what? All the things that I'm saying, I know that for one, I want to do a whole lot more in my life as besides working,
period,
and going to sleep and working, because that's what it feels like I've been doing on autopilot. The fact that, you know, I've been on autopilot for the better majority of my life is really disturbing. So I have children, you know, and I refuse to let them continue on the pattern of being on autopilot and not knowing that they have the power within themselves to create their own reality and create their own experience in this life and not have to depend on anyone else. So I will continue to gain knowledge, you know, continue to follow guidelines and blueprints like the one that Nipsey laid out for everyone to follow, and I will put in the work, and I will not skip steps, you know, and I will use, you know, the knowledge that's presented to me and pass it down to my children and put in the work so that, you know, that's what I'm here for. This is my purpose.
That's what it is. And we're going to create, it's 7 building blocks in order to create wealth that sustain over 100 years. I'm going to get into that in a later episode, but that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. That's what Nipsey did. He created those 7 blocks he put in his portfolio, and he was able to create something that will sustain over 100 years. Even if it doesn't, it could be just a thing that he put out. The knowledge that he did, that'll sustain over 100 years.
Right.
So that's what it's about. That's how I feel like just to piggyback off what Queres said. That's what we're here for. I'm trying to change my children's lives, to break that cycle. You know what I'm saying? To create to break the part about trying to fit into society. So no, that's it though.
Alright, so that was Boss Business with Aaron. Next we're gonna get into the level up with the beautiful Miss Toshoama. You know, CIP neighborhood nip, man. We're gonna have to keep saying, look, listen, man,
CIP, SIP neighborhood nip, man.
Woo!
Like I said, he was our champion. He was the king of kings, man.
Let's get into it, man. Y'all rock out with these sponsors, and we'll get right back to you. Let's do it.
Toshoama. We're using this segment to pay homage to the late Nipsey Hussle. I'm going to use one of his quotes for spiritual self-improvement talk. So the quote is, the most important thing is to get rid of doubt. If you got doubt in what you're doing, it's not going to work. And so to me, that means you need to have vision. You need to have a vision. You need to conquer fear. You need to have a step-by-step plan and then execute. You're not in a race with anyone else. You know, you're going at your own pace. And then, you know, just looking at his body of work, he absolutely stuck to his vision and conquered all of his goals. I had no idea, as I said earlier in the segment, I had no idea who Nipsey was until early 2018. But as I said, like, you know, he spent a lot of time building himself and owning all of his things, making sure that he's building his business in the correct way. So I knew about him when it was time for me to know, when he was able to actually teach me something. Right. Because that's how I came across him. You know, we watched numerous of his videos about business and things like that. So using that quote, for me, I'm going to make the topic of today about fear. And the question is, do you think that when it comes to your life and all aspects of your life, most importantly your goals, that you've conquered fear? If you feel like you've conquered fear, how do you think you did that? If not, how are you working towards conquering fear? Okay. So I'm kind of going to give, you know, my synopsis on how I feel myself about fear, and then fellas are going to help me out and tell me, you know, what they think. Right. So for me, I actually feel like at this point in my life, I don't have much fear really about anything. And I think that fear, basically, you conquer fear by life experiences, by failures, and then learning discernment, you know, from those failures. What completely helped me get over fear is spiritual awakening. And, you know, when I say spiritual awakening, I'm talking about Lisa left out Lopez. I want to go to the jungle with the animals. Right. I want to feel the earth under my feet. Right. I want to go whisper to the ocean where the moon at. Like one of those kind of awakenings. And, you know, essentially I think having a spiritual awakening is a death to something, or to your old self, to be reborn into something new, something more. Like a phoenix or something. Right. From the ashes. And so she rolled. Right. So once you experience, you know, the death, and then the death of yourself, and then, you know, you just realize that there's just nothing really that you need to fear, because you can always come back. I think that's that Aries in you, right? Yeah, that's coming up out of that warrior. I mean, you can always come back, you know, give it to me mentality. Yeah, to give it to me mentality. Give it to me now. Okay, that's enough. So, and when I say that, you can apply that to life. So in all situations, you know, what has died and then has been reborn. So I've been from being good on money, being not good on money, and then having to climb my way back up. That's a death and a rebirth. So can you give, like, explain as far as this, when you say death, right? You know, you had break it. I know what you mean, but break it down for people who might not know, because when you say death, people think of physical death. You get what I'm saying? So kind of break down what you mean by death and rebirth. You know, you said, like, you was giving an example about money. So was it like something that showed you, like, hey,
you know,
Like,
explain the
with money?
situation as far as you've been saying about you've been good with money and then you've been bad with money, but you've had an experience.
Well, and
Right.
so, okay, yes. And so, like, with the money, like, when I say death and rebirth, I've had periods in my life where money was just coming to me,
Yeah.
you know, from all angles. And then when you're young and you feel like this is just how stuff is always going to be.
Right.
So when this money is flowing to me, if I'm at work, I'm getting promotions or some, I don't know, what other way can you get money? I don't know.
All kind of ways.
Just in any way possible. And so I wasn't putting any money back. So, you know, being young, I'm thinking, oh, I'm always going to be okay. I'm always going to have money come to me. And then when that stops and you haven't been putting anything back, and then you start having things happen like, oh, the IRS, you owe them because some kind of magical new bill came out and you
That's
owe
a
us.
death right there.
Yeah.
Because
They sniping.
Right.
I ain't paying
Right.
nobody back. Come on, what
so-
you want to come up with?
You know, just crazy things that's coming up. So if the money ain't flowing in like it once was, and then you start having stuff happen, life stuff, like my tires, you know, I need new tires, and how much does that cost? And if you haven't been saving money and you don't have that kind of stuff, so things like that started happening to me, and I, you know, that taught me some lessons. So now, you know, I know to put some things back. When I do have an influx of money coming in, hey, there are going to be times where money is not flowing as easily, and I need to have money for those times when I need things, when things start to happen, when the IRS come again, if some magic happen,
Right.
I can pay them and it not put a dent in the way that I live.
Right. Death and rebirth.
Right, and to
Death-
touch on that a little bit, too, what you just said, as far as about putting something back, they did a study, I believe it was like in 2007, 2008, that the average American could not get a hold of $2,000 or had $2,000 saved up in their bank
Right.
savings account.
Right.
So that's something that it definitely it's a death. If you
Yes.
get them tires
Yeah.
go out, the check don't hit right on time,
Right.
and that water heater go out.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So it's a death to a certain mentality.
Right.
Yeah.
So I reemerged from the spiritual awakening with just, you know, purpose, a lot of wisdom. And then I got to know myself on a really, really deep level. So at that point I know, hey, give me a year on anything, you know, I put, you know, tunnel vision on it and I'll see fruit within a year and a half. And then along that path, if I come on some trouble, then I know I need to create stability, you know, during the transition until there's the rebirth again. So say I go to my job tomorrow and they say, Toshoama, you can't come in, we are closed down. You know, so what do I do in that scenario? I'm going to have an oh my God moment for a second, but then after that, I'm going to say, okay, you know, what's up with this unemployment? Let me check my savings. Do I take from my 401k? Do we need to sell our house? I mean, I would just kind of set up a list of things that I need to tackle for, you know, I know something better is coming around the corner.
Make a master list of what you
maybe
gotta
this
do,
is
right?
pushing me to go ahead and work for myself. But at the end of the day, I'm coming up with a task of things to do to create my stability until that time comes. So,
So you're saying, so basically you say make a list and plan.
right,
Plan for the worst.
right.
Okay, so plan for the downswing of the
Right,
pendulum.
you
Gotcha.
plan. So that's my thing. You can always, no matter what life-changing situation happens, you can always come back from it. You know, just create your own stability. Put some steps in place of what I'm gonna do while I'm down, you know, and then slowly you'll get back up. So it's such freedom in not having any fear, I think. So that's pretty much what I want to.
Right. I guess, and just to elaborate a little bit more on that, or not necessarily elaborate, but to piggyback off of it, it's I studied Hermeticism, the Kabbalion. I'm gonna give y'all something. Y'all, we're not gonna get into it though. Hermetics, and it's something called a swing of the pendulum, and we talk about this a lot. You know, when it's your season, you're up on the uptick of the pendulum, but that pendulum, it swings. And when you're on the downshift, the thing to do is to prepare yourself to know that this is natural law. You know, you have you know, basically I think it's a sine wave that they call it. You have ups and downs. So when you prepare yourself for the down period, you know, you don't let it sink you or keep you in a funk to where you're so stuck on, man, I'm having a bad period. You know, you just understand, back to what you were saying about death and rebirth. This downswing is preparing you for a death of the way you was thinking, and a rebirth into a new era in your life, or into just a new phase in your life. You get what I'm saying? So prepare yourself, make lists, and understand that you're going to have down periods regardless of how good your life is going. So once you prepare yourself for that, you're good. Just respect it for what it is, live in the moment, and soak up the experience.
Learn.
So for one, death and rebirth, to me, basically, like I was saying, is death to an assumption. So once something is revealed to you, once the veil is pulled back from your eyes, then you can't unsee that. That is a death to the vision or the how you see things. You understand what I'm saying? But out of that comes a different way of thinking, which is rebirth into a different era. So as far as death and rebirth, that's what that means, you know. And that's the only way that you can learn. The only way that you gain and progress forward is through pain and death. You know, the final death, which is the final physical death by this vessel, because the spirit never dies, but the final death of this vessel is just to mark your purpose has been completed in this lifetime, for everyone else to take your life and review it through and through. You understand what I'm saying? But you go through a death and rebirth every day. You know, you learn something new, and that kills whatever the old situation, whatever you thought you knew, is dead, and now you are reborn into a new way of thinking. And to hit on, you were saying about fear. So fear, and this, well, we can expand on this. We probably expand on this like quite a few episodes, but I try to keep it into a small thing. I kind of think on fear a lot. Will Smith. I'm gonna start right there. Will Smith said the best things in life are placed on the other side of fear. And what that means is that, you know, you can let fear control you. Everybody pretty much that I know lives day to day based off of fear. You know, we make decisions based off of fear, and I can attest to that, like, through and through. The reason why I've had so many jobs, you know, is because I didn't have the confidence within myself to say, hey, you know, I can survive just off my talents alone. That's fear-based. That's fear-based thinking. And that fear kept me in line with saying, hey, I need a job. I need to work for somebody else, because that's already established. That's what I know. It's already stable. And maybe I don't have the confidence, or maybe I don't have the skill. That's fear talking. That's your ego talking to you instead of listening to your higher self. You know, once you align yourself and stay constantly aligning yourself with your higher self and your purpose, then fear doesn't control you. Once you let fear control you, then you always fall into the pitfalls and you fall into the system. You know, that's the whole point. That's my whole point, is to break away from fear and not live in a fear-based mindset, and live in a love mindset with loving myself and believing in myself. And once I completely achieve full and 100% self-love, then fear of nothing, fear of death, physical death, because I don't care who you are, until you're a warrior or something like that, then everyone fears death at an extent. But you know, we get into some other spiritual stuff later. But you know, I think the ultimate goal is to not fear death at the end of the day. So when it comes time for you to go, you will know within yourself, you say, all right, I know that I completed my purpose, and everybody that I'm leaving behind on this physical world will be inspired by my life. You know, I could go on for hours about this, but we gonna keep it short. You know,
right? So just to touch on something that you said, I didn't want to cut you off while you was talking.
Go ahead.
What I was saying was, you said you feel like you was working a bunch of different jobs because you didn't feel like you could
Right.
survive on your skills.
Right.
And school teaches you that though.
Yeah. Oh,
School instills in you.
Like I said, we can
Right.
go down the rabbit hole. Now, but
Elementary
we gonna
school
keep
from-
it. We gonna keep
Right.
it cool.
But yeah, I just want to tell them real quick now.
Go ahead.
Look, so
Yeah.
I just say that, you know what I'm saying, they tell you go to school, get a good job and get a good education, you do
Right.
this and that. But if school was really like for learning, they would teach us how to hone in on our skills. Okay, well, you don't sing good, but you draw, so you go over there with those people, right? Kind of like Harry Potter and them. If you're gonna be on this side of you go to Dumbledore, you go to Gryffindor, you know what I mean? You go to and
Right.
that's what school should be about. It shouldn't be about teaching me something that doesn't have anything to do with me as an individual.
Individual.
You know
Right.
what I mean? Because I'm not gonna learn like he's gonna learn though, but
Absolutely.
I can do things better than he can do. And I can,
They
so
should be teaching us how to perfect our skills
that we were
as
born
opposed to
with.
teaching us how to be workers or slaves.
Period. Because you break that system, man, and try to fit into it. Like I try to fit into society, man. It's kind of like insane. So
Yeah, man.
that's just how I feel about it. But you said about fear, right?
Yeah.
As far as my definition of fear and how I look at fear is, I don't fear nobody. Everybody put their pants leg on one leg at a time.
That's right.
Not afraid of now. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that scares me,
Mhm.
and I know I'm afraid of it, and I'm still young, so I'm still learning
That's all right.
how to understand fear. Once you understand fear and death and all that good stuff, you'll understand it better. You won't have the fear of it. But the only thing I fear is leaving my children here on this earth unprepared.
Absolutely.
Working every day, I can be took tomorrow, and I can honestly say I feel like I haven't left enough for them yet. I don't have nothing that they can stand on enough to say, well, Pops did this. This is what he got us, and this is where we can come from because they still babies.
But you got us though.
I got my brother.
Hey, you know.
I know I got my brother, I got
That's
everybody,
right.
man. But I think about it, that my mind, I don't think my mind stops when I'm sleeping. But I'd be afraid. That's the only thing I'm afraid of is
Good, you working right now though.
is leaving my babies behind, man.
Right.
And that's that. That's the only thing I fear, man.
So, look, we would love to hear from you guys. You know, share your experience, share your thoughts about what fear is to you and the experiences that you've had with, I guess, a fear-based mentality, poverty mindset, and I said poverty mindset. That I just went way off topic, but fear. We're gonna keep it right there, and we would love to hear from y'all in the comment section. Y'all let us know what y'all think, and let us know how you deal with that fear-based mentality.
And
So-
right. And this just add on this. Hesitation causes fear. So never hesitate. If you're gonna do something, just go
Do
ahead and
it.
do it all the way on through.
Right.
Hesitation causes fear, so never hesitate.
And that was with Nipsey's quote, don't doubt. If you have doubt, when you're doing something, you've killed it from the beginning. So that's why the message was about fear. Have you conquered it? If not, what are you doing to conquer it? Because if you have that fear, you have that doubt, then you can't execute your plan. So
Pretty much that's it, man. Y'all leave comments. We want y'all to tell us what's going on. Make sure y'all subscribe. Let us know what's going on, how y'all think about, what do y'all feel about fear? How do y'all deal with fear on the day in and day out based on what are you doing and what do y'all do to conquer fear?
okay, hey guys, that's the end of Level Up with Toshoama. Next, we're gonna hear from our sponsors, and we're gonna have the Health Minute with Queres.
That's it.
The Health Minute.
Alright, so we back with the Health Minute with Queres. So
Health Minute.
yeah, man. So we said, we dedicating this episode to the late great Nipsey Hussle, CIP Nipsey Hussle.
Neighborhood Nip, man.
And like I said, we're gonna pick up where he left off. He was gonna do a documentary about Dr. Sebi, however you want to say it. And basically, I think that health is wealth, right?
Yeah, health is wealth,
right?
man.
Okay, so
Health is wealth.
we're gonna share a lot of people actually didn't know about Dr. Sebi. Like you spoke about awakenings and stuff. So during my awakening and my revelation about, I guess, life in general, you come across so much knowledge that you weren't privy to in your previous way of thinking.
Right.
So, you know, and of course, health comes up. The way that you eat, what you eat, you are what you eat.
Period.
You know, so if you eat flesh, you know, if you eat animals, you know, you take on that energy that flesh comes with. These are living entities. So you consume that, you literally, your body breaks that whatever down, and it becomes a part of you. You
Right.
know, of course, you know, you excrete waste or whatever, but of course that becomes fuel for your mind and your body. So, you know, that's why people say watch what you eat and just, you know, try to eat better. No, but we are Americans. I love food. I'm not gonna sit here and try to preach to y'all.
I know I look like I love food. I ain't no.
Right. But the goal is to do better. You know what I'm saying? To gain knowledge and to understand that, you know, things are set in place for, you know, for you to fail. You know, be healthy. You know, try to eat healthy, try to exercise, and try to be a better version of yourself. The longer you stay here on this planet and in this existence and in this life, the more you can gain experience for your spirit and for your soul, and the more you can pass down knowledge to everyone that you usher into this world and everybody that follows you. So I'm gonna give y'all a couple of facts about Dr. Sebi. He was born Dr. Alfredo Bowman. He's a pathologist, a herbalist, biochemist, and a naturalist. He developed a methodology that he and many others claim to be able to heal the human body from all known ailments. So, and the reason why I say claim is because I'm a person of experience. You know, you can tell me the sky is blue. You can tell me that. If I've never been outside, you can say, Queres, look, the sky blue. But I'm like, bro,
I need to see it myself.
I don't believe it, cause you know, let me go out and see. Let me put my eyes on it. So once I confirm that, oh, okay, yeah, that's you right.
You own the something.
You know, I'm gonna roll with it. You know, but I'm not just gonna take, you know, another man that, like you said, put his pants on one leg at a time.
Like I do.
I'm not gonna take his word for Bible.
Nope.
So, you know, the thing about that is to hear it, to receive it if it resonates, and then to go put it into practice and see if it's actually true. Because experience is the real true teacher. You know, so all right, so the question is, what did Dr. Sebi believe in? Dr. Sebi believed that there is only one disease, and that one disease is mucus. You know, I saw a video where he was explaining, well, you know, why is mucus the only one disease, and he was explaining that, you know, in bronchitis, what's one symptom that comes from bronchitis? He said, you know, it's mucus. And then what's another symptom that comes from where is the mucus in the AIDS virus? And he explained that, well, it's in the blood and it's in the lymph nodes. So if you can eliminate the cause of mucus, then you can effectively reduce disease. So I mean, it's simple. It sounds simple to me, so I want to put it into practice. And his thing is that, you know, in order to well, before I get into that, the general American diet basically is pretty much acidic. Milk, dairy products, meat, you know, all form acids. You know, the human body, as studies will show, is naturally alkaline. So if you can keep your body more alkaline in nature, you know, a balance, you don't want to go too alkaline. You know, but if you can keep it, you know, 7 to 8 neutral or a little bit above, then you pretty good, because disease, as studies will show, disease and bacteria can't function in an alkaline environment, but they function real nice and heavy. They will love an acidic environment. So that's, you know, cancer, sick, cold, the common cold, the flu, and any other virus that you can think of are all they all prosper in a acidic environment in the body. So his goal was to teach you how to eat more alkaline foods and to create an alkaline environment within your body so that bacteria and disease cannot exist, which you eliminate the mucus and you live a longer and more healthier life. So y'all make sure we're gonna leave some links that in the description to take you to his nutritional plan and some other links that show you how to get on the right track to having a more alkali based diet as opposed to an acidic diet. We love our food. I love chicken wings and cheese. And
Baby, love them Fruit Loops.
I drank here and there, so but we gonna change that. You get what I'm saying? So
we're gonna try to change it, be better.
Right. So
the process.
Wait, y'all want to elaborate on that?
No, the only thing I like to say is, I mean, the food that Dr. Sebi, Dr. Sebi, however you said, tomato, right? Or whichever one it to me, it just seemed, all of it just seemed like the sea, what you eat, seeds and
man, it's hard.
beans, like bird food or something.
I think it'll take your whole, changing your whole mindset of, like we said last week, eating to live and not living to eat.
Man,
that's gonna be tough. But I think in order to eat seeds, like you said, and
you just gotta change it.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a change of your mindset, saying,
right,
yeah, I'm just eating this, and then I'm going back to work, or it's not like a
right. And
I'm enjoying this burger,
right? And that's a thing that you said about going back to work. You know, the crazy thing is, it's not a lot of. Man, okay, I was finna go all the way off to the left, but that's right. But to the left, and you said something about work. The crazy thing is, we so busy and we so like balls to the wall busy with trying to figure the whole thing out that we can't even focus on the correct diet. That's why pure fast food is just so placed around you and so convenient. And the natural human thing is be like, man, hey, look, bro, I want to eat this salad, but it don't really taste good. I ain't used to it for real. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this double burger with extra cheese and 30 bacons on it.
Or the real deal convenient $1.49 chicken nugget.
1,000 nuggets for $2. Man, you gonna like, I eat off this for
one sauce
2
though.
weeks.
You know they trip about that sauce, but you know
they count them. They count them now.
Hey, bro, that's why they didn't hand out the bag. hang you the bag out the window with no ketchup.
Oh, y'all ass now.
How many napkins you got? Six.
Give me 2 bags. You got too many napkins.
Give it to me.
I done seen somebody get fired by handing about too many napkins out the window, man.
But,
hey, look.
All in all, man, but it's all a setup for you not to be able to focus on the serious note. It's all set up for you not to be able to focus on your health, man.
Right.
It's serious. It's serious, man.
Right.
That health, that you need that. And eating wrong is,
It's terrible, man. So look,
it's enjoyable.
We gon' definitely. We love food. I can't lie, but we gonna try to do better, y'all. We got to live for our children. And we got to experience more so that we can leave something behind for the people that we usher into this world. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So, look, health is wealth. We're gonna try to see how we can kind of incorporate over time the Dr. Sebi methodology. Y'all, I be struggling with these words.
It's all good.
Y'all know what I'm trying to say, man. Y'all just don't worry about how I'm trying to say it. Just listen to what I'm trying to say. Huh? So, look, man. We appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all leave comments and tell us what y'all think. And that's the end of On the Couch. Episode 2.
Number 2, man. This is a good one, man.
Rest in peace, rest in power.
Yes.
Nipsey Hussle, we love you.
Roll in peace,
Love and light
big
to
homie.
his
You gotta
family.
roll in peace, big homie. Just King of Kings, man. SIP neighborhood Nip, man. You will be missed. Your presence will be missed.
Definitely.
So y'all tune in next week.
Yeah, man.
Contact us
Coming in
at
next
on
week.
the
We're gonna have
couch
some more good stuff.
at gmail.com.